and welcome back to the ShirleyThomas Show. We're going into the second portion of our show. We just had Jill Stevens on, and she talked about Catch Them Young, and she told us about her book. And so now we have here Mr. Robert Gatewood. Before I bring him on, I want to say thank you for being here, Robert.
Thank you for the invite.
You are welcome. And we're going to read a little something to you about it. Robert Gatewood. Before starting his own company, he worked in corporate America for over 20 years. He received his first business management position at Grand Union Supermarket, where he became a regional buyer at the age of 22. He rose to the rank of president as part of a team that launched Talo Grocery, an online supermarket and home delivery service. But right now, Mr. Gatewood is currently president of the Gatewood Marketing, a full-service web development, marketing, branding, and advertising agency. He helps businesses and individuals develop, grow, and succeed. He produces and hosts the Marketing Pulpit. It is a show that's on Radio 1, WOLAM, and it comes on Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Robert Gatewood is also an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College, where he lectures on web development, web ownership, social media strategies, branding, advertising, marketing, and workforce development. Robert, welcome once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I was wondering, I don't want to come after that guy. What you was.
Robert, I really condensed it. It was really,
well, thank you.
You really have a lot of accolades under your belt, and I want to say thank you for that. But my thank you comes from the fact that I attend your meetings on First Friday, and I see what you do. And I see that you do it with the passion and with your heart, and that's a major difference of pouring out into businesses so that the businesses can excel to the level that God wants them to. And I say thank you once again.
Thank you. Amen.
Robert, what exactly is it that you do?
Oh my goodness, you charged me with quite a task here because I do a lot. As you heard from the bio. If I could sum it up in a word, which is quite difficult, I would say that I'm a marketing, advertising, branding, web, sales, social media, customer service, business development tactician. How that? It's a lot. It's a lot. But
it's a lot?
It's a lot because people say I'm a marketing guy. That's kind of like, I call my company's Gatewood Marketing, and if you try to say marketing, that kind of don't know what marketing is. They think I'm the guy that calls them when they're trying to eat dinner. So that's telemarketing. They think I'm a salesperson. But it's much more deeper than that. So that's why I try not to box it into just marketing. If I had to put it in one of those, it probably would be business development.
Well, what makes you different from some of the others in your field, Robert?
Marketing is one of those fields where you're taking people's dreams and passions in your hand. I spent 30 years in corporate America, and I did a lot of, and I could still be there now, but I chose to leave corporate America because I realized that small businesses were suffering and failing at such an alarming rate. They needed help. And I always felt that in our heart, we have to reach in and figure out why we're on this earth. I call it the raison d'etre. That's the French word for reason for being. And after everything I've decided to do, everything I've dabbled in, I was supposed to go to law school at Syracuse University. I was accepted to go to Syracuse. I've been an accountant. I've been so many different things, but it keeps coming back to marketing and helping small business owners. So when I talk about other people in the field, I know a lot of them are doing great work, but what sets me apart is that I believe that you have to remove the money element to get down to the core. And I know some people find that difficult, but I have to ask you, would you be doing this if you weren't getting paid to do it? And when people tell me, well, I'm here to, Robert, I want to hire you because I want to become the next Mark Zuckerberg or the next Oprah. And I'm saying, I'm probably not going to be your guy because I don't see enough in what you put on the table that convinces me that you're in this for the long haul. Because it is a stretch. My service is, I'm here to help people who have left the workforce, they've left jobs, and now they've chosen to be entrepreneurs. These are not people who are trying to make the billions of dollars. These are people who are trying to feed their families. They're trying to pay their rent. They're trying to put their kids in school. And they've chose entrepreneurship as the way to go. Now, if they want to make the $1 billion, then I'm right there to help push them up. But the average person is people just like you and me and your previous guest. We're here because we've chosen entrepreneur as our field. And my job is to help them realize their dreams.
Wow. And so what do you think is the key to success for a business owner?
Well, it's difficult to encapsulate in probably this show, but I have chosen I call them the 3 M's. You have to have a mission and a vision. You have to know where you're going. It's like I can't leave here trying to get to California unless I have a plan or a vision of where I'm trying to go. So that's the first one, a mission. The second M is you have to have a market. You have to have a group of people or businesses that want your services. And it has to be enough until you reach critical mass. That's when you reach the point where you can actually make a living doing it. And the third one, and this is the one where a lot of people say, wow, boy, this is where I'm going to drop the ball. You have to have some money. And this is where a lot of small business owners, I hate to say it, they've somehow been convinced that they can do this with no money at all. You don't have to have boatloads of money, but I don't care how you get that money. Some people are bootstrappers. That means they have another job going on the side, maybe another part-time job while they're trying to build their business. Some go out and get investors, some go out and get loans, some get partners. But in order for your business to become viable, there are certain expenses that are required to get that business up and running. And anybody who's talking about going into business and not discussing or at least dealing with the money aspect of it, they could be in for a rude awakening. So let's say mission, market, and money. You need those 3 things.
Okay, and so just saying, for the person who doesn't have any money, don't just completely throw their dream out of the box, but you got to come up with a plan to get some money to invest so that you can get the right marketing tool behind you.
Well, I'll use myself as an example. I'm a poster boy for a lot of things that I talk about. I'm a bootstrapper. I kept my job for probably 10 years while I was building my business. I make good money in corporate America, but I knew my vision was to start my own company. And so while I was still being paid, I was giving my full attention. I was giving them my hard-earned work. I was in it. And so I wasn't like slacking over here because I was trying to start my business. But I knew that in order to get where I'm going to get, if I didn't get a loan, I'm going to have to pay this out of my pocket. So my money came from me. I was self-funded. My first company, before I even got into the Gatewood marketing, I actually started a payphone business. I used credit cards. I built up my credit, had very good credit, took 3 credit cards, got $20,000 by just using my credit card. Bottom line, Shirley, it doesn't matter how you get it, but you have to have some money because there are certain things you just have to make a viable business work. And be creative. I say most business owners, they're cut from a different cloth. They know how to do things that maybe somebody else who has a 9 to 5 job or in government for all their lives. Entrepreneurs are creative. And so make sure it's legal, first of all. Don't do anything nefarious that's going to get you in trouble. But you can be very creative, and things like partnering, even joint venture. There are other ways to get from A to B, A to Z. But money is going to have to come in there somewhere.
Well, you know what? And you use your credit cards to build your business instead of going out here buying a lot of clothes and jewelry and other stuff that really is not going to get you anywhere.
Sure, I wrote a book called Plating Pool back in 2008, and it touches on that very issue. That, unfortunately, quite a few members of our community we got a good job, we made some serious money, and we blew it really we spent a $1.3 trillion goes through the hands of our community. If that money was properly channeled, then of course we'd have a lot more successful businesses than we have now. But some people seem to put priorities on taking trips and buying fancy cars and clothes and hair. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that if you have your priorities in order. Why go out and get a $80,000 car when you can actually start a successful business and then go buy that car and pay cash for it once you have a successful business off the ground? So one thing that one of the other successful pieces of advice for a business owner is to get your priorities straight. Get your priorities straight. And money, when you start making money, don't quite spend it as soon as you make it. Because every industry goes through a life cycle, and that growth cycle is where a lot of people blow it because the money starts coming in. They go out and get a pool and flat screen TV, the dog have a pool, and then they slide into the maturity stage of the life cycle of the business, and then things fall off. Everything they were doing before, they're still doing it, but it's not working anymore because they didn't understand some of these intricacies of marketing, and that's where I help companies. You have to understand the introduction, the growth, the maturity, and the decline, the 4 P's of marketing, the industry life cycle, left brain, right brain. All of these things are part of that process that it's hard to explain to somebody who's saying, look, I just want to make money. And you know, it's kind of funny. Some people have come to me and said, look, Robert, I don't want to do any of that marketing stuff. I just want to make a lot of money for my business. But I started telling them all the intricacies. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to make money. Well, that's not quite how it works. And so that's why a lot of companies that start businesses do not succeed. In our community, the average business hires about 0.67 people. That's less than 1 person per business. The owner himself is not even full-time. So if we can just get the companies successful to the point where the owner can hire themselves, then we will see a shift in the paradigm in our community. And we start seeing a lot more successful businesses. We start seeing a drop in unemployment. And a lot of these ills that we're seeing, like drug abuse, teenage pregnancy, violence, those things would dissipate because now these young people have options that we as a community can provide, which is another one of my missions, to build strong businesses in our community so we can put our people to work.
Yes, that's
I know I can talk a lot. But.
No, but seriously, that's very important because that's what's going on. The stealing, the taking, and so on is because they need work, they need jobs.
Sure.
We're making any excuse for stealing and robbing because there's no excuse for it, but we created and put our people to work.
Put our people to work. I think it's a bad commentary on any community, whether it's ours or some other community, when you can't hire your own children. You're loading up your kids in these luxury cars and dragging them off to other people's community, and they're hiring their own kids. I'm not mad at somebody for hiring his own family, his own friends. We just have to build the infrastructure so that we can hire our own children, regardless of whatever community you're in. That's just the law of nature.
It is.
It's survival.
And pass the business on down to the next generation,
Exactly right.
and the next generation, and the next generation.
You cannot pass that government job down to your siblings, your progeny. A successful business, you can't do that.
Yes. And I heard someone that said, I've heard it several times within the last few months, working a 9 to 5 is making a living. Owning a business is building wealth, which is more noble. The opportunities of building wealth is much, much greater and more noble to where you can make a difference in the lives of your family and others if you own your own business as opposed to a 9 to 5. And we're not knocking the 9 to 5 because you said it just a moment ago. You use it to get to the next level.
Well, Shirley, most of us, there are only a few ways to get wealthy. You just call assets, money, property, real estate, and so forth. But the average person has an opportunity that I think they really don't take advantage of. I can't go out here and be LeBron James or what the little guy is saying, any of those singers. But what I do have, I have the ability to go out and start a successful business. That opportunity is available to everybody. Doesn't matter how high you can jump. You may not be able to carry a note from here to that mic. You still have that same opportunity. I'm amazed that more people don't take advantage of it. But that's my mission. That's why I have this radio show every Friday. I'm preaching the good marketing gospel, trying to get people to realize that opportunity is available. And if you need help with it, tune in, listen, get the information, get the knowledge, and then that opportunity can open up to anyone, really. That's why foreigners come into this country, they're surprised. Why are these people taking advantage of these opportunities?
And so they probably would ask you, Robert, what are the opportunities?
Well, the opportunities right now is technology. Technology is the big one right now. So if anybody who's, it's also the equalizer too, because when I'm talking competition, anybody who starts a business, you have some in-grown competition. It's indirect and direct. Most of us don't have the resources to go out and open up 5 or 6 locations. We can't hire a big room full of staff, but technology is an equalizer. It doesn't care about your color, your race, your religion, your background, your gender. If you can master technology and put it to work, you will be amazed what kind of things that you can do. And that's why also I've done, this year I've done technology tours. I was on a tour for Small Business Administration, went down to Jackson, Mississippi, talking to business owners there. I went down to North Carolina onto a group of young people. President Obama has a program called YCC, the Youth Career Connect. And so I was partnering with a nonprofit and the Anson County school system down there to help youth steer them towards this technology. And it was amazing listening to those young people. One guy wanted to be a preacher, another one wanted to go into the military. Just talking to them for about an hour. They asked me, look, I can still preach, but I can also get into technology because technology touches everything. Even that young man who was thinking about going into the military, he still said, look, I will still pursue the military, but I will fashion it now so that technology is included. That's where the opportunities are right now.
Okay, but people wanted to reach you, Robert. How can they?
Well, I have several ways to be reached. I have the radio show, of course, on Marketing Pulpit. You go to marketingpulpit.com, and I'm there every Friday at 10:30 a.m. on Radio 1. You can also go to my website, gatewoodmarketing.com, and that's where I talk about all of my services, marketing, branding, web development, social media. My phone number is 301-839-2836. And so I'm all over the place. I'm on social media. Go to Facebook and go to Marketing Pulpit, or go to Twitter, go to Marketing Pulpit, or go to Gatewood Marketing.
It sounds like you're really using technology.
Oh, I had to. I'm an old school guy, but I kind of can play on both sides of the fence because I grew. When I first took my first computer course, we didn't even have computers. We were drawing boxes. We did flow charts. And so I built I started in technology early, and I've kept up with it. And no matter what business you're in, you need to have a taste of technology in it.
Okay, so you are a big proponent of networking. Why do you feel networking is so important, right?
Because, Shirley, most of us, when we're thinking about building a business, we forget the other stakeholders. Every business is about building stakeholder relationships, whether it's a business, a nonprofit, or even a religious organization. You need your suppliers, you need your vendors, you need your partners, you need your employees, contractors. Networking is one of the only ways that I know that puts you in touch with all of those stakeholders. When I go to a networking event, and you come to my first Friday networking event, the person sitting next to you is the person that makes that decision, whether they're going to be your contractor. Or I got on a government contract by being in a right networking setting. The person said, wow, this guy actually knows his stuff when it comes to marketing. That person contacted me after a networking event and said, look, can you partner with me on this government contract? That would have never happened through traditional advertising. So I say networking is pivotal because it puts you in contact with potential partners. And partnering is the best way that I know that can leapfrog your business. You may be on a timeline that may get you there 10 years under normal means. With the right partner, you can cut that time in half or a third or even a quarter just by getting the right partner. A partner could be an advertising partner, a financial partner, a venue partner. Partners come in all shapes and sizes. Networking is the best way to get them.
You know what? You said something simply phenomenal. Because I was just reading yesterday that David went to bed one night as a shepherd boy and woke up the next day as king. Isn't that powerful? Go to a networking meeting and meet the right person. And what would have taken you 10 years only take you 3/4 of the time just by the right connection. Isn't that amazing?
You had something earlier about what makes me different. The main thing is that I am the poster boy of everything that I teach. Everything we've talked about today, I have experienced firsthand. And plus I have backed it up with education and experience. But I won't talk it unless I've lived it. And when I bring people to my table, I want to get inside their soul and say, where are you now? Where are you trying to get to? Where have you been? Let's take the money off the table for a moment. We'll come back to the money, because if you get on the right path, the money will come. The money will take care of itself. But you got to get in here first.
Social media seems to be the buzz these days, and it's an area in which you have expertise. Is it just a fact?
Well, it's not a fad. Let's put it this way. There are people who know you but don't really know what you do. A lot of people think I went to law school. They see me on social media and say, wow, this guy's a marketing guy. I need a marketing person. I've gotten clients that way. Then there are people that know what you do but don't really know you in person. Social media takes care of both of those. There are 3 billion people right now on the internet and 2.5 billion that have social media accounts. That market is too big to ignore. You just can't.
When it comes to the number of social media networks, is it a case of the more the merrier?
No. Most people think, because they've been ill-advised, that go out here and sign up for all the social media networks you can. Get on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram. No. Marketing is about the audience. Where is your audience? That's how you decide which network to get on. For instance, if you have a service that's targeting women, Pinterest is 80% women-based, okay? If you're trying to reach millennials or young professionals, you want to get on Twitter. If you're trying to professional network, trying to do business to business, you want to get on LinkedIn. So it depends on your network. If you're not sure, Facebook is the catch-all.
Okay. Why should a small business spend valuable time on something that some feel is still unproven?
Well, we go back to those numbers. You cannot ignore there's 7.2 billion people on Earth, and think about this. 3 billion of them are on the internet. You cannot ignore that. Whether it's proven or not, just the sheer numbers is worth sticking your toe into it. But like anything, some people ask me, is it safe? Should I be doing this? Like anything else, you gotta follow the steps. When you set up your accounts, go to those settings, make sure you control who can see you, who can see your information. So you do need some guidance, and that's where I'm able to help people also. So when you're not sure, say, look, go to an expert. Say, look, I want to set up this account. How can I control it? You may need some help in some people, in some cases.
Last question. How would you sum up the gigantic task of succeeding in business?
And I would be quick. Task is the operative word, an acronym. Task, T, target your audience. Make sure you're going after the right person. A, advertise. You got to get your name out there. S, simplify the process. Make it easy for people to find you and order your products. K, know what you're doing, know who your competition is, know the industry, know what's going on. And S, you have to serve like your life depends on it, because guess what, Shirley? It does.
Serve.
Serve.
There's a scripture in the Bible says that if you want to be the greatest, listen. That's the key word. So we all want to be great, right? So we should all be going around trying to serve one another. That's the key. Thank you so much, Robert, once again for being on the show.
Thank you.
Wow. And thank you. I'm Shirley Thomas, the Shirley Thomas Show. Good night.